At the end of the day, we got your back because we family. We're family. From the SWAT, from the MEAC, the CIAA, or the CX. It don't matter where you're coming from, cause we are still family. HBCU family, welcome. It's your boy, your uncle, your cousin, and your best friend. And you have tuned into the HBCU Man Cave where men can relate, relax, and release. I'm your host, A. Harris Brown, and I'm here with my caveman inhabitants, my brother, Kevin Keys the third. And listen, Shane is somewhere. We're going to just keep him lifting. Now, last time he couldn't make it because he was traveling. Today he had to take care of his son. His son got sick, so he's just make sure he's doing the father thing. But that's apropos because we're talking about fathers today. So tonight we got a special show for you lined up today. We're talking about the role of fathers and the male role models in our life. A topic that hits home for so many of us. The influence of a father or a positive male role model is the strongest forces in shaping who we become as men. Now, they teach us how to walk in our purpose. Now, we talked about purpose last week, y'all. Handling life challenges, and more importantly, how to pass those lessons on to the next generation. Now, listen, today we are honored because we don't have just one, not two, but we got three special guests today. Today we're honored to welcome back Walik Gibson, a proud alum of Stillman College, a businessman, scholar, entrepreneur. Walik is a driving force behind WG Management Group, where he oversees management and community service coordination for professional athletes and beyond. Now, his commitment to mentorship and community shines through his work as an enrollment recruiter at Stillman College, and where he inspires the next generation of leaders. Now, a little bit about him. Now, another guest we've had on the show is good brother, family member of mine from Bethune-Cookman University, a musician, Chris Redding in the house. He's a father. He's of a son who is nonverbal autism and neurodivergent. And we had a great conversation talking to Chris about how he navigates this world and this space, working with his children and how he's able to connect with his son through music. Absolutely amazing. And last but not least, our newest guest for today is Devin Filtrard, a proud, graduate of this other institution in Florida called Florida A&M University, I suppose. But anyway, he's a dynamic leader, educator, and a dedicated father. Listen, Devin is passionate about strengthening the relationships between fathers and their children. Come on. With years of experience in leadership roles within schools and educational institutions, he has made it his mission to mentor young men, inspiring to become the best version of themselves. Now, listen, gentlemen, welcome to the show, everybody. What is really good? That's a lot. Woo. All right, so let me do a quick social emotional check-in on everybody. Hey, what's going on, my good brother Vernon? All right, so Kevin, how's it going today? How you doing?
Exhausted, but we're moving.
Okay.
We're heading to Philadelphia for part 3 of my HBCU Vote Tour. And, I'm still teaching, and I still got to go in front of 25 8 and 9-year-olds tomorrow, bright and early. So I'm excited and just...
All right.
Someone told me that I asked for this.
You did. Waleed, what's going on with you, brother?
Oh man, I was enjoying being in my apartment for 3 or 4 days because I'm headed to New Orleans, Memphis, then California.
Okay,
so,
I ain't headed to Cleveland yet.
Oh, I'm coming to Cleveland for Destination HBCU. Come on now, stop playing with me. Next month. You know what time it is. Let's get that clear. You know it.
Cool beans.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's see what else we got. Chris, what's going on, brother?
Hey man, nothing much, man. In full homecoming mode, actually. I just left UF's homecoming. My wife's an alumni there, and wow, what a time. And this week, what's coming up.
Hey,
The great Bethune-Cookman. It's our homecoming this week, and we're going to turn all the way up.
all the way up. I think I'm wearing Bethune-Cookman all week long.
Oh,
Shout
yeah.
out Big Dog
You
Dre.
got to.
I
You
think I
got
do.
to.
But subconsciously, I wore all black and red last week for Clark Atlanta because Clark Atlanta's homecoming was last weekend. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, okay. Anyway, and so Devin, what's going on, bro?
Nothing much. Just resting this weekend, getting rejuvenated. Definitely had my coffee, even for tonight, just for this event. So making sure I'm ready to talk about fatherhood with you all. Really looking forward to a good week as well. Productive week too. So ready to hop into it.
Awesome sauce. And to shout out to all of our viewers, whether you're watching us on Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram right now. Thank you for tuning in to all of our men watching and to our ladies. We all know it's the HBCU Man Cave, but we love the fact our ladies are watching and supporting us every step of the way. Shout out to the replay members of the Man Cave, because sometimes I don't give y'all some love. So to my replayers in the watching the show right now, shout out to you because you came back because you missed something, you want to see it again, or you're like, hey, I just need to share it with somebody else. So thank you for the replayers in the room. All right, so now let me tell you all again about today's topic. Today's topic is the role of fathers and male role models in our life. Now, the the men in our lives, or the father and father positive male figures, don't just provide for us financially, even though I must say that I love my 27-year-old, but the moment he sends me a text message and says, hey dad, I know it's going to cost me something. But listen, as fathers, we offer guidance, instill values, and shape our understanding of what it means to be a man.
You mean to tell me it doesn't stop after 18?
No, it doesn't. Mm-mm.
Oh no. Oh no. It just beginning.
Listen, let me tell you something. Research shows that children who grow up with involved fathers are more likely to have higher self esteem, perform better academically, and make healthier life choices. Now, a study from the National Institute of Health even found that father involvement is a key predictor of the child's social emotional development and future success. Now, positive male role models are also critical for teaching us how to manage emotions, make sound decisions, and interact socially, all of which are fundamentals in navigating adulthood. So let's bring it in, let's chop it up, and see where this conversation takes us. So now, Waleed, I'm going to go to you first. Yeah,
I knew that.
I'm coming for y'all today. I'm coming for you
Oh,
today. And then Kevin's gonna always make sure he's checking our Instagram feed to make sure there's any questions over there. And those who are watching us on YouTube or Facebook, we might even put your comments at the bottom of the screen. Just like that was my producer's cue. Let her know I wanted to go to a comment on the screen.
Okay.
And there we go, like that one. Yeah, like Vernon just said, I heard FAMU lost yesterday. Is that true? Vernon, we are not here to bash FAMU.
man.
That's
Oh
not what we're
man.
doing at this hour. Now, the next hour, maybe. Not just kidding. So, Ali, let me start with you. First question. How did your father, or the absence thereof, impact you as the man you are today?
Oh man. I was just thinking about that.
I
It
know.
it made me be a great father. I think because me not having that presence or that father present, it made me be in my son and my daughter's life completely all the way through every step of the way. Every chance I get anyway, you know how they get kind of older and they don't want you around, but it's kind of more coaching now. I was copping for a while and now I'm coaching. So yeah, it played a big part with him not being there. And we have a great relationship now. Me and my father, we have a great relationship. I talk to him more than my son probably because I call him because I just know how important it is, and me and him rekindling our relationship and getting back on the right track. But it played a big part, a very big part
Okay.
of me being a great father.
And to anybody else on the screen, you want to talk about how your father or male role model made an impact in your life?
I think my father made a huge impact in my life, but I didn't really understand or really even appreciate it till much later in my adult years. My dad was old school. He was from the old school. He didn't really say "I love you" that much. My dad didn't tell me that he loved me until he was on his deathbed, and I knew he really meant it. And for me, it was almost like he was passing the torch to me, and was like, "Listen, you're a man now. You got to carry things on." And for me, that really resonated. That was really deep for me, and it kind of gave me, I feel like, the power and just the understanding that I need as an adult to move forward, and just can carry the legacy.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Listen, I always used to tell my dad, I said, stop buying me stuff. My father didn't. I mean, he was around. Love my father dearly, but I used to, I think his way of showing affection was always just to buy me something. And I'm like, you don't have to buy me anything. You could just your presence, just be there,
Yeah,
All right.
yeah,
just be there. Just come to my, my school concerts, come to my plays, just support me. That's just say I love you. Oh my God, I think my father had a challenge saying that. It wasn't until later on in life he actually got to see my son and me do a performance. We did a theater production together, and he was just like he was taken aback, like wow. He said, "Y'all are good." He said, "I never realized how talented you both were." I said, "Yeah, this is what we do. This is what we've been doing." And this is all we wanted to share with you, so you can so you can see the joy in our faces, in our hearts, so we can be able to share that back with you. So it took us a little bit later in life to get to that point, but we got there. Anybody else? Kevin, Devin, y'all want to talk about the father and the impact of who
Yeah, for
you are?
sure. Yeah, so I can go into a little bit more detail later on in the show. But I can say I had an experience of my childhood of having a father who wasn't in the house, but who was always present in my life throughout my life. Always told me he loved me. Just gave me different experiences. And now that I'm old, I'm 27 now. I'm building a relationship with him and understanding him more. But I also had an experience of uh I guess a stepfather, you could say, in the house who wasn't a good father, and having that dynamic of understanding what an abusive father would look like versus a loving father would look like, and understanding how to differentiate both of that. So when I have my own children one day, I can raise them with the love and the proper love that my father gave me, and understanding what to avoid and what my stepfather kind of gave me in that experience.
Awesome. So now, Kevin, I don't want to leave you out, bro. Since we all took a stab at this question, I don't want to leave you out.
I will say, growing up, me and my father's relationship was rocky. That's no secret. I mean, I'm to my family, whatever. I'm off talk very openly about it. But the older that I've got, the more that I knew that in order for me to move on as a person and to grow as a person, I had to one forgive my father, because I had to realize two things. One, there's no blueprint for
Yeah.
fatherhood. Like,
That's
there's
right.
nothing. No one's telling him like, "Hey, you got to do this, 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 this." So he's trying to figure out just as much as I'm trying to figure out living. He's trying to figure out being a father. So it's like I can't really, put against him what he really like, what our difference is, and then especially because we was in, he grew up differently. I grew up in a different, era and whatnot. He has to learn and try to adjust as trying to while being a father. So this was a whole lot of dynamics that came with that. So it was like me growing up, I had to sit back and reflect. That I had to reflect on mental health. The fact that I didn't realize that my parents were dealing with mental health issues and really wasn't addressing it because the generation don't talk about it. I had to sit there and take those into account. So once I took that all into account, I had to learn to just love the family that I got and love the parents that I got, and that's what really now me and my father are on way better terms. So
Awesome.
I say, but I will say it's some lessons and things that I didn't understand back then that I understand now, and it's got me where I'm at. So I appreciate the man.
Thank you, brothers. Thank you. Now, listen, I wanted to share with our viewing audience again that the research from the health journals shows that emotionally available fathers significantly contribute to their children's emotional development. Children with involved fathers tend to have better emotional intelligence, stronger coping skills, and healthier social interactions. Now, this presence helps build confidence and a sense of security in their lives. So my next question, I'm going to come for you, Chris. I'm going to come to you, not come for you. All right. So, Chris, being a father yourself, how has your experience shaped your approach to fatherhood and the lessons that you hope to pass down to your children?
You know, I kind of take that question as, almost as like what has fatherhood taught you along the way.
Okay.
And the biggest thing that uh, I learned in fatherhood is patience. I think that growing up, you kind of have this microwave kind of mentality of like, this is going to happen, things are going to come, and I'm going to be able to do all these great things, and it's going to be easy as long as I put in the work, and I'm going to get these results. But you learn quickly that life works a total different way, and me, typical life, got went to college, got married, had started a family, and moved to New York, and we got pregnant when we lived in New York. Um, Everything peaches and cream, and then all of a sudden it's like you have a son that has autism, that's on the autism spectrum, and he's nonverbal. So life completely changes, and you have to relearn everything that you thought your future would be, and just almost just reimagine your future. And now you have a child that you're going to have to take more time and effort to understand, to build a connection with, and it takes patience. It's something that you have to approach every day with an open mind. And now that I have another son, a younger son, that he's not on the autism spectrum. He is verbal. He's a I don't want to say the word regular kid, but he is a neurotypical um, kid. And now I'm realizing it's easier to deal with my son with autism than my other son,
Oh,
because
wow.
he's got all of these questions. Like, you tell him to do something, he want to know why. He's gonna challenge everything you tell him.
Yeah.
With my other son with autism, he just kind of does. You guide him and he does what you say. But it takes patience, and you have to navigate through these dynamics
Okay.
as a
I love
father. Yeah, and that's the main thing. That's the main thing.
All right. Waleed, you have two kids?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you, same question. What have you
Mm.
how's your experience shaped you
Hmm.
as a father? And then what do you hope to pass down?
Oh, man, the biggest thing with me, I be trying to teach them or try my best to coach them to have a well balance, 50-50, kind of like, yes, you got to have your education, but yes, do some entrepreneurship. And that's what I've been battling with them about, starting their own companies. And my daughter, she sells her own junk, cell phones and hats and stuff. But my son, he doesn't do it. He does digital videos, content and stuff like that. But I'm big on that. Like, he works at Mercedes-Benz, so that's good. But the plant might lay him off one day. So he needs something to fall back on. So I'm big on the entrepreneurship with them. I'm just trying to teach them and leave those jewels that I have and know how, to kind of not skip the process, but kind of go through it the right way strategically rather than having to go all around. But that's where I'm at with it.
I love that. Now, fatherhood
Yes,
isn't just about being physically present. It's about
absolutely.
intentionally being intentional in our interactions. Studies have shown that fathers who actively engage in their children's life, actively, I'm preaching to somebody way in the back. They want to make sure they heard that. Actively engage in their children's lives through both the big moments and the everyday routines. Help foster higher self-esteem, emotional intelligence. I keep going back to that emotional intelligence. Y'all gonna catch this by midnight. And a strong sense of security in their kids. Intentional fathers are the foundation of a child's future success. And again, don't get me wrong. We have some amazing brothers out here and sisters who are doing some great things who may not have had a father. But it does show that having that dad or male figure in your life adds value for you to be successful as well. Now, Devin, got a question for you. Your
For
work,
sure.
fatherhood initiatives, is so impactful. So I really want to dive into this more because I do some of that here in Cleveland, Ohio. By the way, Devin, where are you located?
I'm currently located in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, my hometown.
Okay, awesome sauce. Okay, so okay, so
South Florida.
you heard that
Yes,
right?
sir.
Okay, come on, South Florida. So, um, again, your work with fatherhood initiatives is so impactful. Can you share with us a bit about the importance of male role models, especially in the educational space?
Yeah, for sure. I can go on and on about male role models because that's how I came about into, my service and my activism. Um, Being under Mutaki Akbar at Akbar Law, now Akbar Thomas when I was like 15, 16, 17 years old. And they gave me a job at 18 and being in that environment, not knowing anything about Black success or Black businesses or nothing like that, but just being in that environment at a young age, and then bringing me to FAMU football games, and then I actually ended up going to FAMU after I got my associates. That was all imprinting on me because they just let me be around. So, um, without having any knowledge of politics or social justice, just being around a positive Black male role model in that sense allowed me to see a different world than I was used to. It allowed me to see Black people and Black success in a different light than I was used to, where it was before like rappers and athletes and people like that, which they're great. I love the arts. But I just didn't see a Black attorney or a Black businessman or um people in real estate or anything like that. So I think just allowing young Black men to see the vision by the person that's standing in front of them is very important, and that's what mentorship is all about.
Wow. Okay, so now, how long have you been working in this space? I'm just curious. I mean, you're pretty young, but I love it. I mean, so, and give me some examples. Like, so what do you do? I'm really like, okay, I'm trying to pick your brain now. Like, okay, what is he doing in Fort Lauderdale that
Sure.
I could be in Cleveland?
Oh, yeah, man. I've been in space for over 10 years now, maybe about 11 years, 11, 12 years at the most. Um, I started out, just, doing community service around my community in Tallahassee when I lived there and went to high school there. Um, and, just it went from there, just being active and involved in my community. So I've worked with or interned at Ben Crump's office in Tallahassee, worked with the family of George Floyd, or now I work with the family of Emmett Till. I do a lot of things like that. I work in the entertainment space as well. I've worked
Yes,
behind
sir.
the scenes with Something in the Water Music Festival, ran by Pharrell Williams. Things like that. I love arts. I love activism. I just love being in the community. So I can go on and on about certain things I've done, but I think the impact is more important of just being able to set the vision for people to follow after you. So yeah, here in Fort Lauderdale, I'm looking to get involved with a lot of the youth and just really understanding why Black men are either hesitant to vote or are leaning either way on the political spectrum, but just understanding it so we can get more young Black youth politically engaged and, to make sure they can get mentors too in their community here in Fort Lauderdale.
Listen, you said vote, and Kevin's ears just picked up. That's see, that means you got to come on. Go on,
Okay,
Kevin.
so
Oh,
you
yeah.
admitted
Go.
that because I'm already an
Hey,
assistant producer. Like, dang, I should have been in Florida. Like,
See, Kevin.
We have a lot of
No,
work that needs to
also,
be done.
Devin, let you know because you said musician. So Chris is also a musician. That because Chris, you in South Florida, right? No, you went no.
Palm Beach.
See, yeah. So y'all need to connect somewhere somehow. Listen, the brother
Yeah,
got
for
some
sure.
music. He got some music for you. And then if you want to get some other celebrity, listen, Waleek over here, he know Bootsy.
No, I can use both of you guys' contacts. I would love to work with y'all. Quick
Man, that's
shameless
what's
plug.
up.
My nonprofit works to clear student debt for HBCU students. So we would love to work with you all and see how we can plan panels and just work with people in the community when it comes to the entertainment industry and HBCU. So yeah, would love to work with y'all on the side.
All right,
Awesome.
cool beans. So listen, this question is for anybody. So this question is for anybody. How do you think society's portrayal of fathers and male role models has changed? And what still needs to be improved? Again, what do you see in today's society and how we are portrayed? Matter of fact, before we go there, before we even answer that question, I saw this activity. Guys, give me your favorite TV father and why.
Who I was about to talk to?
Come on. Give me your favorite TV
Mm.
father.
That's like that's like
Will
almost like a
Will
loaded question these days.
Will Smith. Carl. I'm not Carl. Will
Philip
Smith.
Banks.
Philip
Philip Banks.
Bank. Philip
All right.
Bank was one of my
Philip
favorites.
Banks. Why is Philip Banks your favorite father?
Man, main reason because he let Will come stay with him.
Okay.
That's a cool, yeah, cause ain't too many folks letting they nephew come stay with him.
Okay.
I
So
felt like that was pretty cool. And then he dealt with all that crazy stuff too. Will was doing too as well, and he was a great father figure to Will. I don't know. I just it was Carl, yeah, Carl, not Carl. I keep saying Carl. Philip Bank.
Philip Banks. Okay, because
Yeah,
he opened his house and his
right.
space for his nephew come in to extend the family. Okay, cool.
Right.
All right, Kevin, you ready?
I say I say Julius for everybody hates Chris.
Ah, come on, Julius.
And and the reason why is this man had two jobs working for his family just to make sure that his kids literally had everything. So
Yeah,
he can literally make sure that his family was in middle class. When we think about it, they were really like middle class for real. And it was because he was really working two jobs. So his wife really didn't have to work if she didn't want to. And it was several times and periods in that show where she did not work. And it was like they was not missing a meal. They was not skipping a beat. And it was because he was in there making sure. But at the end of the day, even though he wasn't always there, he had everybody respect, and they
Because he
knew that
had
they was
two
gonna get,
jobs.
and he was gonna get the big piece of chicken when it
yeah,
was time. Like
Oh yeah.
it was the respect that his kids had from the structure that he had in that household. Like that was real powerful. And then when he did get a chance to have those conversations with his kids, he did drop gems, and he really like
Yeah,
motivated them and he pushed
he
them. So it was
did.
like. I really gotta say shout out to Julius for real.
Listen, and Rochelle was gonna let you know. Her husband got two. All right. Devin, what about you? Favorite TV father?
This one's gonna be a little bit unconventional, but I'm gonna have to go with Ern from Atlanta, the main character. And the reason why is because even though he's a little bit younger, it's a newer show. You can see the dynamic of how he grew over time from season one, being a young father, homeless, and just trying to figure it out to all the way through season four, where you can see he's actively going to therapy. He's making better business decisions, and he's actually making family decisions, and intentional family time for his daughter, for his daughter's mother, so they can be an actual couple and family. And so then he does the work to be a present, um, capable, providing father for his daughter and create a proper family for her. And I just really love that growth and dynamic.
I love, yes, I love that growth because he just realized I need to go get some help and let me take care of me so I can take care of my child better.
yeah.
All right, Chris, what you got?
I'm gonna see if y'all remember this. I'm gonna go with Rock. Y'all remember that show, Rock?
What?
Oh, Rock!
Rock
Yeah,
was
you
a
had to
true.
think about that one for a minute.
Yeah,
Yeah. I'm
Rock.
gonna go with Rock because he wasn't scared of nothing. Like he was
Yeah,
just like one of a blue collar, like hard working dad, and like he didn't really understand everything, all this fancy talking this and that. But he just knew one thing: stand up for my family, to provide for my family. There was one episode where he stood up to a drug dealer, and I thought that was so powerful because you don't see that a lot of times. Like it was really at a time where like like drug dealers used to like run the black community. And he in this episode, like he stood up to the drug dealer and was just like, "Yo, not on my block, not around my family." And he wasn't scared. And
Right.
sometimes I feel like we need that same energy these days, man.
Not on
It's,
my block.
come on, man.
Observation. Can somebody enlighten me on who
Don't tell
Rock
me you don't remember
is?
Rock.
Man, he ain't never,
I was born in
he young,
2008.
man.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
He
if,
don't
I don't
remember
know it
rock.
either. I'm
if
not
you
gonna
don't
lie
know,
to
you
you.
gotta
I don't
ask
know
Hey,
somebody.
it.
you gotta ask about rock, man.
Okay.
Y'all gotta go watch it on YouTube, man.
Gotta try
Watch
Man,
some
What
old.
show?
I,
What is the show
I don't
called?
know why they
It's
canceled
called
that
Rock.
show, but
It's
Okay.
called rock.
ROC.
Okay.
Yeah,
ROC,
Okay.
All right.
man.
yeah,
So,
rock.
all right. So I think for me, so I'm not going to go father. I'm going to go father figure because I got a couple. I mean, I could name so many.
Me too.
I was gonna say James Evans, but I'm not gonna go James Evans today. Um, however, I'm gonna go male role model. I'm gonna say Mr. Gaines from the pit.
Oh, you took it way back. We don't none of us know.
I'm going Mr. Gaines.
I
I'm
think
going
I think that went over my head
I'm
too.
going
He
Mr.
went up.
Gaines
TV was black and
in
white
the
when that
pit.
came
I was
out.
like, what,
Hey,
Mr. Gaines?
okay,
Who that?
I'm in a
Okay,
different world. I'm in Hillman College. I'm in the pit.
okay. I
Okay,
got you. Okay,
Oh, okay,
Mr.
yeah.
Mr.
Gaines.
For
Gaines with the
sure.
towel on his shoulder. Kept
Listen,
the towel.
Gaines was dropping knowledge to Kim and to everybody who came into that cafeteria. Like, listen,
Yeah.
first I'm gonna feed you, but then I'm gonna get you together. I'm gonna get you told when you right, you right. But when you out of order, I'm gonna let you know that too. I'm gonna give you a job. I'm gonna
Mr.
support you,
Gaines.
but I want you to finish school. He was all about making sure our young people were taken care of no matter what, even in the cafeteria. And I think
Right.
that was something that we also learned of all of us going to an HBCU. We didn't always, some of the life lessons we learned was not in the classroom.
Right.
Many things that we learned was just on the yard. You might have been in an organization or a club. You might have been in the cafeteria. You just been just around other adults, and you just start to just like a sponge, as you start to absorb all of that positivity and that energy and that love. And Mr. Gaines always provided that. So
Mr.
listen, I
Gaines.
see my classmate Vernon. Vernon wants to remind me, you forgot you got young folks up in here. And yes, I know, Vernon. I keep forgetting I'm the uncle in this thing. I forget.
Set,
I got my
set it
nephew
straight,
in
set
here.
it straight, huh?
Ain't no shame in my game. 22.
So now,
Did nobody want to say nothing about Bill Cosby?
well, I mean, I
Nah.
don't know.
Oh man,
I ain't mad.
y'all
Nah.
ain't
No,
right.
no,
I was gonna
no,
Y'all
say
ain't
that
right. Hey,
this might be a
Chris,
loaded question.
come on,
no,
Chris.
but
You
no.
know, y'all
Cliff
know Bill
Huxtable.
Cosby on number one on the list,
No,
baby. Come on now.
I'm
Yeah,
no,
everybody
Cliff
was
Y'all
thinking it.
know.
Everybody was thinking
Everybody
it.
been thinking it. Like, everybody trying to make sure
He
they can keep
said
their brand.
everybody was thinking
Hey,
it.
guess what? Everybody think about their brand as well. I like y'all. Y'all some smart people.
no. Ali, that's why I phrased the
Hey,
question. Your favorite TV dad? I didn't say
Oh yeah, you're right. You're
so.
right.
Anybody could have said Cliff Huxtable.
Oh, I had one more, Harris. I had one more. Philip Drummond. He had the two black kids. He adopted them. Don't forget about that white dude. Don't forget about my man now.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah,
that was a heck of a dad. Now two black kids.
Are you talking
Drummond,
about the
yeah.
that Gary Coleman show?
Yes, yes. We can't forget about
I
him
know
now.
something.
Ain't
I know
nobody
something now.
listen. Hey, you can't pay nobody to adopt a kid. You talking about two?
All right, so here's the reason for my I asked that question. Because now we talk about some of these influential or these TV fathers that had an impact on our lives. So now I'm gonna go back to my question. How do you think today's society portrayal of fathers and male role models
Mm.
has changed?
All
And
right, so
what still needs to be improved?
y'all
Oh man.
let
Go
me
ahead.
cook real quick.
Go please go ahead.
Let me cook. Okay. So let's take this all the way back to one of the first movies created, which was a birth of a nation, right? And how they portrayed African American males. Period. In that movie, they claimed that a black man raped a white woman, and from that moment forward, they just looked at all white men as just complete criminals, and that aided to this whole theory of mass incarceration and what's happening in our world today. So when we seen on TV this era where it was so many different black men and black fathers starting to come along, and they like, oh well, this is a stable, this is how a black father is supposed to look, and all that. Then we start seeing movies and start seeing TV shows where the father was no longer in the household, and they start to portray like, oh, the black father is no longer there, or oh, the black father went to go get milk and never returned, or this. It became a whole trend. It became a thing. So it started where, oh, black fathers were in the household, and this is the black community, and this is solid. To now the entertainment industry has started to portray that black fathers is no longer, in the forefront of the household anymore, which is not true because statistics have shown that African American males are in their child's life at record numbers now than they have ever been before. So it's like, but yet the whole entertainment industry is showing something totally different, and that is so crazy to me. So that's why I
Mm,
really wanted to talk about that because it's so much deeper than what we know for real.
okay. Anybody else want to talk about how society is today, or how they look at us as fathers or role model, and how's that changed?
Yeah, for sure. So as mentioned before, I love the arts. I don't really watch TV or movies nowadays too much, but I know what I can compare is when I used to watch cartoons when I was a kid. And so I'm looking at cartoons that's coming out nowadays, and although I don't watch them, I can see that there's a lot more intention on showing the youth nowadays that there's positive black real male role models and fatherhood and things like that, like shows like Craigity Creek or there's other ones too, but I'm just loving seeing like I think there was that one that was the derivative of Hair Love. Um Made by Matthew Cherry. I can't remember the name of the show. It has Kid Cudi as a father, but it's just showing positive father role models in animation. And so that just shows the kids nowadays that's coming up that fatherhood can look positive in a black male lens. And I think it's beautiful, especially for the youth perspective, because when I was a kid, not saying we didn't have that, but it wasn't much of it. So just knowing the
Mm-hmm.
youth have that nowadays is really important.
Yeah, because imagine what life would have been so much. And again, I'm sorry, y'all, I'm dating myself. But imagine, and I'm gonna talk to Vernon real quick, who's watching us on one of our channels. But I'm gonna go and say, Vernon, remember when we would watch Fat Albert, and imagine if we actually saw the kid's father. Imagine what that would have been like. Now, that's just I don't know if you all can. I don't know if you all grew up with Fat Albert like I did, but that was the junkyard kids. They were just all out in the junkyard, just making music and having fun. They would go watch the Brown Hornet. But I never saw Fat Albert's father or Rudy or any of the rest of the guys. Like, imagine what life would have been had I seen their dad. All right, anybody. So for Chris, what needs to be improved based off of what we see today in society with the portrayal of fathers? What needs to be improved?
Well, I was gonna say, like, to answer your original question, I was gonna say I think social media has done a lot to break those stereotypes. You see a lot of black involved fathers, especially in a lot of these niche groups on in social media that show a lot of black fathers in action, and I'm one of them. A lot of black fathers online are looking are finding creative ways to connect with their children and putting them, and documenting it online. For me, it's the music. Connecting with my son and parenting through our interaction with music. Um, and I think that social media for a long time has been this level playing field. And I remember earlier on, there was a lot of, like, you'll see a lot of people sharing like negative content. But now I'm seeing the opposite. And we just have to remember, like, we have the power to change the narrative. And also we have to remember too that we're on a global stage as black people. People love our culture. They, they love what we're, if you go overseas, you go to Asia, they love black culture. And I believe like now more than ever, we have more eyes on what we're doing as a culture and as a society. And we're literally in the globalization of black culture. So, and that also pertains to fatherhood.
Okay, I'm loving that. Waleed, what you got?
Oh, he hit it on the head. He
He
just
did.
talks so much. He just talks so
He
much
put a
better than
punch
me.
on that thing. I want to make
I'm
sure
over
you
here.
say
I'm taking notes, man. You know. But yeah, he hit it right on the head. It's just he said everything you need. You can go ahead to the next question. He summed it right up. I ain't even got to say much. That Chris, hey Chris. I mean, you must be you. Somebody must ask you that question already before you. That came a little bit too out the top.
I always say it like this: when you're passionate about something, you speak from the heart.
Right.
And I like to I like to speak on things that I know about and that I'm in and that I'm passionate about. So that's just one of those topics.
It's
I'm a
still
little.
it not now one thing. Ms. Harris, one thing I can say, it's still to me. Father's Day still not celebrated as Mother's Day still. We still haven't
Nah,
got there yet.
no.
I don't
Oh,
know. It's like
you gonna start a global argument with
I'm
this.
just being real.
Nah, nah,
I don't know why and when it got like that because I just remember my great grandmother who raised me. I remember her celebrate my granddad, my great granddad, and it was all Father's Day was always getting celebrated. Grandpa was getting all the good food sitting at the head of the table. But
facts.
nowadays, I'm just saying I don't know. Father's Day is kind of like we're not even looking forward to it because it's like it's like oh
Can I make a
well.
can I make a comment on that really quick?
Oh
What
yeah,
you got?
please do.
I,
Please
I just
elaborate.
I just feel like no, you have a point. I think that like when you're dealing with trauma, right? And you're dealing with, like you said earlier, there was so much negative portrayal of black fathers on not being in the household, on sitcoms, and that was like that for many many years. And that's like literally um trauma that we had to endure, we had to see. Even with colorism, I remember growing up in our time. you know when you watched the Disney Channel, it was like only mixed kids on the Disney Channel, and you thought like that was what the standard of beauty was, or the standard of that's a good kid, or that's someone that is like a kid that is successful, or and so that those images have been ingrained in our minds for so long. And I think now, coming out of that, now that we are seeing like, no, that's not the narrative. We see fathers on social media. We see all different shades of black people, black and brown people, and we're embracing that all of it is beautiful. Now it's sort of like we're coming out of that trauma phase because it's not dictated from like some TV network executive anymore that does not know anything about black culture, that does not know what our narrative it truly is in the home. And we're now able to syndicate our own images and our ideas and just images of ourselves, to reiterate. And now we're sort of coming out of that trauma.
Mm.
And I think that, now that's why it's very important for us to celebrate the black fathers. There's gonna be times where it's like, man, we feel like we're not getting the credit that we deserve, because for so long we had to endure this narrative of the black father ain't, he ain't gonna be there, he not gonna be committed, he gonna be this, that. So now we're breaking those stereotypes, and it's important that everyone that's a part of our culture, and that's like black women, black mothers, even other black fathers. We have to understand, like, no, there are good black fathers out there, and they are committed.
Yes, sir.
You know,
Yes,
Yes, sir.
and
Yes,
we got to
yes.
sir.
celebrate them
That's
point
real.
blank,
Yes,
point
sir.
blank.
All right, listen, I want to go to the chat real quick. On our Instagram chat, I see Doc Wall 2. Y'all, this is my therapist. I'm back. Oh my God, my therapist watching. So He says, I love the fact that you all are using the word father figure because many of us have to step into the role for that lost father. Because so often, sometimes, that's why I want to make sure that we also acknowledge those uncles, those big brothers, that mentor, that fraternity man who had to step in and be that role model and that guide on the side to help a young person out. Susie says, Susie Sue 007 said, I don't know about that. I'm not sure if you're talking about when I was talking about Fat Albert or not. Unfortunately, I feel that media continues to distort the overall presentation of black males as role models. And let's see. Speaking of your comment, Chris, Cassie _A_T_ says, honestly just started within the last 10 years doing more ethnically diverse families. You had two shows really that had predominantly black fathers in all black families in a 20-year time frame. Yes. All right. So, and then one more. Vernon says, Chris and Anthony can attest to the colorism that he endured. Now, all that Vernon endured at Cookman as a light-skinned black man from up north, red hair, freckles, bright yellow, and they called him Big Red. So he was dealing with the whole colorism. All right.
Oh man.
Next question. Listen, y'all hitting it today. I love it. I did want to talk about a study from the Worcester University highlights that male figures are increasingly redefining the modern masculinity. Traditionally, the textbook said masculinity has been linked to stoicism, yes, and dominance. But today's male role models are embracing vulnerability, emotional expression, and nurturing relationships. Now, this shift helps to break down stereotypes and encourages healthier dynamics between fathers, male role models, and the younger generation. So, gentlemen, what advice with you all or to our viewers who are watching us on social media, what advice would you give to young men who feel disconnected from their fathers or who are seeking a strong male role model in their life? Go.
I can go with that. I have a few thoughts on that. So with a lot of work I do, it's really to give young men the lessons that I believe I didn't get when I was a young man, when I was an adolescent. And some of the lessons that I learned along the way that I want to make sure I pass down to not even just my future sons, but like my younger brothers, all the young men I meet along the way. First is to go to therapy. Not necessarily saying that you need therapy, but go to therapy to unpack yourself and understand yourself. Um, that's the first thing. Second
Okay.
thing I would say is to look at um after you, of course, maybe go to therapy, or even if you don't, understand what type of man you want to be like. So then you can look at what type of man you want to model yourself after. Because if you just follow any type of man, that might not be the man you want to model yourself after. But if you look at who you are on the inside, what you value, um, what's important to you, and you maybe find a male role model who aligns with that, excuse me, or one that might be just pouring into you because they see the value in you and you don't even realize what they're doing. But once you understand what aligns with you, you understand that that older male figure is actually pouring into you. So I'll say it's a lot of like internal work that you have to do. But first therapy, but also looking at what you expect into a man so you can find that proper male role model.
Okay. I love that. I love that fact. It's just unpacking and just understand, where you are and where you want to be and how that person can help support you in that process. All
Correct.
right, let's go and let's somebody else want to share. Again, what advice would you give to a young man who's still disconnected or seeking that strong role model?
I'm not choosing to be quiet here. I'm just gonna say that I second that motion because he really, I mean, he said what needed to be said. I mean, everything that he said. I mean, get help, find your journey, go on your journey, see what type of person you want to be, and then find that person that's gonna help you get there. So, I mean, that's everything he said. He hit it Around the
He
head
did.
for that one.
He
So
did. Well, that's part of his life. That's what he do. That's what he do for a living.
yeah, yeah. He on his
That's his
craft.
lane. He gonna
He
take
said
it
he
from
That's
don't
you.
miss.
right.
I
That's
He
right.
don't. All right, Mr. Harris, I'm gonna give you the new slang. What they say, he don't miss. That's what you got to write that
yeah,
down.
he
Oh,
don't miss
He
that.
okay.
don't miss.
He
That's
don't
all.
miss.
Steph Curry with
You
the
know I'm
slang.
gonna put you down,
That's
big
right.
bro.
That's right. That's
Thank
right.
you. Come on. He
Uh,
don't
His,
miss.
Appreciate that.
his
oh
voice
well.
sounded just like the sound bite that said that too.
See,
He
see.
don't
Well, y'all
miss. It
know what.
sounded just
All right.
like
Well,
Snoop.
I'm gonna give my hot 10 seconds of advice. Y'all know I'm in Alabama, so y'all know I'm Southern, and y'all know I believe in holy oil.
Come
So
on.
at the end of the day, church
Mhm.
home. That's where it all start, man. That's you got to go find you a church home. That's the first thing for I think before anything else because I traveled all around. I went to everything else but to my church, and when I went back there, it ordered my steps right on time. So I say find a church home, and the rest, it'll work from there. Cause
All right.
that's where most of your mentors are, really. To be honest.
So finding that spiritual connection and that
Mm-hmm.
base.
Right.
Okay.
Oh,
Chris, you want to add anything else to this?
Yeah, I mean, these are phenomenal points. You know, especially the church home thing. It starts there. Starts there. But if I could say something that's like a little practical, like as far as like steps, um, I would say challenge yourself to become more vulnerable. You know, be honest with yourself. And for me, I noticed like especially when I got married, there was a lot of things I had to look within, and you know, I had to really come to terms with and understand like, man, this is just like toxic masculinity things that I'm holding on to from high school, you know,
right.
and you know, perception of what I think people think of me, all of this, you got to let that go. And I'll tell you, man, when you have, like you said, you get things in order in your life as a man with you know getting in that church home and hearing the word, and then a good woman comes into your life.
Uh-huh.
You challenge, you become challenged, you know, you challenge a lot of things that you know you confronting with, and you some things you don't even realize that were there, but that's all a part of growth. That's all a part of growing up.
Right.
Come on, growth. Come on, growth.
Hmm.
All right, so again, ladies and gentlemen, know that fathers and mentors often provide some foundational life lessons that influence decision making. So to any young person that is just kind of looking for that kind of that guide, know that these gentlemen and father figures can actually they're there to support you, to encourage you, to just kind of give you some sage advice, like, hey, this is what life lessons, this is what I did. I'm not saying you're gonna do exactly what I did, but maybe you can learn from my accomplishments or you can learn from my mistakes.
Right.
Either way, you're gonna learn. All right. So my last one, fellas, before we get up out of here, my last one is: what is one piece of advice you would give to our fathers or our male mentors as they help support the next generation of leaders?
No, man, I go first because I was sitting up here thinking about something. Don't be afraid to tell a young man not to do something just because you did it. I had a hard time sharing my testimony because I didn't want. I was scared that other people was gonna be like, "Man, how you gonna be telling them that and you do that?" And I'm like, I'm working on myself not to do that, and I've done that and it didn't work. That's why I'm telling them. You know how they say what? How you call the skill? How this? Y'all know how they say. Y'all hear better than me. But prayers know what I'm talking about. What's the saying, prayers?
I think you're talking about calling the pot, calling the kettle black or
I don't
something.
believe in that.
Well,
Because I mean,
do what I said, not what I do.
who else to tell you if if I look if I tell you this hot and I put my hand and I tell you prayers is hot, I want to tell you I don't want you to burn your hand. But some
That's
people look
true.
at it in the other, from a different view, like, well, so but that's the advice I give any mentor out there that don't even know they're a mentor yet or don't even understand their ministry, might be to just be to some random people, whoever it may be to, but just don't be afraid to talk about, and share your testimony, and just not saying telling them what to do, but telling them what you have done, because it might help them, in the long run.
All right. Anybody else got some advice to the men, to the fathers, to the male mentors, the father figures, and how to inspire the next generation of leaders?
Yeah, for
I'm just gonna
sure.
say,
Oh, my bad. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
oh, well, mine's real quick. I'm just gonna say on behalf of my generation, I'm just gonna let you know, as much as y'all might think that we might got it all figured out, we don't. And as much as you think that we just so hard body and we might not need help, we do. And we do we want it, and we genuinely sometimes we want somebody to ask us if we all right. We might feel like we got the whole thing figured out, but we really just need somebody to just check on us and just ask us is we okay? Because sometimes we not. And just check on your strongest ones, especially ones who feel like, oh, my kid got it figured out. They got it. I know they know what they're doing. I don't need to worry about them. And the ones you need to worry
Yeah.
about, check in on them, see if they okay, because they could be battling a whole fight that you don't even know. And don't wait till it's too late to sit there and tell your child that you love them, because sometimes they just need to hear that, especially after a long day. So just saying you love them will go a long way. That's all I got.
All right. Devin, you about to jump in there and say something.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. I'll also say, um, when it comes to the father figures and fathers and role models that's here right now, I would say understand that your method may not be the best method. And the reason why I say that is because it's different generations. So if you see that it might be friction, or your method right now isn't working, it's not getting through. Um, try and see if there's something that is receptive to that young man, or that young child, and see how you can impact them going from there, because what used to work in the past may not work today. So see what's working with the child and then go from there, because it may be just a communication style, or maybe sometimes we have toxic male masculinity, things like that. So just be conscious of it, and maybe try a different route. Don't be afraid to try a different route. Just listen to the child rather than just being so forceful with them.
Okay. And Chris, what advice you got for the dads?
Well, I would say, uh, as a young man, just period. You should always make sure you have someone that you are mentoring, and you should always make sure that there's someone that is mentoring you. You
Oh,
never
okay.
go out. You never grow out of that stage, because you're mentoring someone. You're being a role model, an example, and if someone is if you and then when someone is mentoring you, you're always being held accountable. So that puts you in a great place as a young man,
Sure.
to where you're always held responsible, and that we need that as men. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? We need that responsibility, because that keeps us motivated.
mm,
Okay.
So that would be the advice I have. Someone that you're mentoring and someone that's mentoring you.
Wow. Okay. I like that. And then
good
as
stuff.
you're doing that, fellas, for those of us again, as you are working with these young people and you're trying to mold and shape the next generation of leaders, focus on helping that young person with some actionable steps, helping them connect what their goals are and their visions are to some meaningful, purposeful, intentional
Mm,
action. Like, don't just talk about it, but just actually like, okay, here's where we're going. This is what we're doing, and this is how we're gonna get there. Listen, brother, we didn't have a good conversation. We're not done yet. We about to wrap it up in the moment. But before we go, we like to always find out what's going on in your world. So before we get up out of here, let's check in with our guests one more time. And I'm gonna go start with Malik. Anything you want to share what's happening in your world right now? Anything, any updates, any highlights, anything you want to shout out, any projects that you want to share with
oh
the
man.
day?
Nothing but fairs, college fairs, college fairs. I'm on the road, still on tour. Right now, we still accepting applications, of course. We still accepting free applications. Matter of fact, it was free application week, but we turned it to a month. So, other than that, I'm on the road. Memphis, here I come. New Orleans, here I come, and California, here I come for the caravan. Shout out to HBCU Awareness in Memphis. Shout out to the caravan. Also in California, they're giving kids $5,000 if they come to any HBCU. They have a grant out there. So that goes all around the table for anybody y'all know in Cali. Trying to come to HBCU, any HBCU. As long as they come to a HBCU, we in good hands.
At this time, when I call you in Cali, Negro, you better answer the phone.
Yes, sir.
Uh-huh.
Yes, big brother Harry.
Chris, what you got going on in your world besides getting ready for homecoming this week?
Yeah, that's already a lot right there. But yeah, just gearing up. I'm getting ready to go on tour. First stop is Buenos Aires, Argentina in November. And
Mm,
so we're doing a world tour, Visions of Sounds. And also, I'm getting ready to start a lecture series at a few different universities. We're doing a lecture series at University of Florida in the spring, and it's all about music healing, the
mm.
healing effects of music, and how powerful it is. So
That's what's up.
those are the things I'm focused on, and that's what I got cooking.
Awesome sauce. Okay, Devin, anything going on in your world you want to share with us?
Yeah, for sure. So, again, I'm the CEO and co-founder of the Cash and Grad Out Foundation, where we look to pay off HBCU students student loans, and provide them with other range of support services post-grad. I'm also an advocate for healing, of course. A lot of the work I do is based around arts and advocacy. So if you all know, shameless plug, if you all know anyone that's hiring right now or, looking for anyone that works within that space of merging art with advocacy, I'm your man, and I'm looking forward to working with you all again, making change in our community. So thank you very much for having me.
Awesome. And listen, and Vernon will let you know, Devin. I need you to also look forward to losing the classic this year.
Whoa, 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 whoa! That's we're not
That's
gonna do that. We're not
coming.
gonna.
I'm
We
giving you
can't. We can't
confidence.
lie to the
Look
people.
forward to it.
Boy.
We can't lie to the people.
Oh, man.
All right, Kevin,
Praise.
um,
election. You out here on your series. You've been traveling.
Whew, and on Wednesday I will be in Philly, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and I am excited to be there. We will be having part three of this five-part series. Also, our foundation is getting ready to kick off its hygiene drive, where we have four drop-off locations in the state of Michigan, and we will be taking donations and everything that will lead us up into Thanksgiving, where we will be passing out foods and hygiene kits to the homeless people in Detroit. Just something to aid to address the problem of homelessness in the state of Michigan and the city of Detroit. Um, Also, that's pretty much it. Because other than that, it's just school, and more school. And my graduation is coming up soon, so I'm excited about that.
Praise.
I
That's what I'm
finally I was
talking
done with
about.
school, but finally get to cross the stage and get
That's what
the
I'm talking about, praise.
whole experience. So I'm excited
That's what's
about
up,
that.
praise.
So it's a whole lot coming. I'm exhausted, but I'm moving because again, God wouldn't give you more than what you can
Uh-huh.
handle. So
Uh-huh.
I'm
Come on.
thankful and blessed for the stress that I got.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
thank and,
yeah,
and
yeah,
thank
yeah, yeah.
thanks to you guys too, Big Brother Harris, the producer
Yeah.
behind the scenes too. We appreciate you
Listen,
guys for the platform. We appreciate y'all for the platform. We appreciate it.
listen.
That's
So,
right.
Yes, sir.
my good news. I'm gonna just share. I'm gonna call it. I just got my report card. Just passed my first two classes. I'm back in school, right? So
Right.
I'm a student at Clark Atlanta University. I had to take two classes, got my grades, and I got an A in both of them because I don't what is there anything I'm supposed to get besides an A?
So
Yeah,
that's it.
the history of urban education and my first series of my practicum in my educational leadership. Yep. Uh-huh. So with that, when I get ready to take my trip to Atlanta, whenever I need to go for a football game, a classic, a homecoming, listen, we got some rates and some specials just for you. And I'm talking about HBCU hotels. So if you're traveling to visit an HBCU, either an alum, a prospective student, or a supporter of HBCUs, HBCUHotels.com is here to make your travels seamless with customized booking options, exclusive deals, and accommodations tailored just for the HBCU community. It's your one-stop shop to keep you closer to the campus and connect you to the culture. Now, you can check them out for all your travel needs so you can focus on what really matters. You know, the people, the culture. I need you to embrace all that. And so, without any hassle, and every time you book your hotel through hotels, hbchotels.com, a portion of the proceeds go to support a future HBCU student. So, secure your stay, show your pride, and let HBCU Hotels take care of the rest. Now, if you are able to let me know that you actually booked your hotel through HBCUHotels.com, listen, we got some swag we giving away. Yeah, look at that.
Okay.
Oh, Ba, ba, ba,
See,
ba. I got some shirts.
I
I got some
see.
shirts I'm giving away. Yeah, look at Kevin like, wait, now we got product. Yeah, we got product now.
Here you go. Here
They
you
got that
go.
money. Big money. That big money.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And then also, I want to make sure because I know Chris had to. I think he might have had to pop off. I don't know where Chris at, but if you are passport ready and you're ready to go to Dubai, holler at your boy, but don't yell. Um, I still got some seats available. I got some rooms available if y'all want to go to Dubai for 10 luxurious days and 9 nights in May 2025.
Here you go.
HBCUtakeover.net is where you need to be. I'm telling you, it's where legacy meets luxury. So I
Oh
just
yeah.
holler at your boy. Holler at your boy. Listen, Kevin and I would like to give a special thanks to our guests today, Wally Gibson, Chris Redding, and Devin Vilf. I didn't mess up your last name. I had it. I almost had it. Vilf
It's all
Law.
good. It's all good.
Thank you. I apologize, brother. So, for
No
joining us
worries.
today, your insight on fatherhood and the importance of male role models has been inspiring. Now, tonight, we talked about how fathers and male role models can shape our lives, build our character, and influence how we move through the world. This impact extends beyond family into our communities, careers, and society as a whole. Now, for more information or how to get involved about anything that's fatherhood related, you can check out the National Fatherhood Initiative at fatherhood.org. Now, this organization provides programs, resources, and tools to help fathers become more engaged and responsible in improving outcomes for children and families across the nation. They offer everything from parenting tips to community support networks to empower dads at every stage of fatherhood. You can also explore All Pro Dad at allprodad.com. This national organization is dedicated to helping men lead their families with love and integrity. All Pro Dad provides practical resources, blogs, and even father child events that encourage fathers to build deeper, more meaningful relationships with their children. It's all about equipping dads to be positive role models, both at home and in the community. Listen, we also want to shout out a big shout always to Historically Black Sense for making this platform possible. You can find
That's
out more
right.
about them at historicallyhbcusense.com. Did I get that right? I think I got that right. I hope I got that right. And if you want to stay updated on all things with the HBCU Man Cave, yes, Monique, is even though Monique calls it the He-Man Women Haters Club. Join our mailing list. You can check the link in the description of any of these social media feeds, or I think our producer may drop a link in the chat momentarily, and you can join our mailing list so you can connect with all of our guests and anything else that we're doing coming up. Now, as always, listen, fellas, again, thank you for being here today. Thank you all for watching us out there. Listen, yes, Larry Richmond, we are stronger together. As a matter of fact, Kevin Vernon will let you know. He says, I told you, Kev, you knew I was going to slip it in there somewhere.
I already knew, right? I
Kev,
knew
here we go. I wonder if Dubai is going to be mentioned. You knew I was going to mention Dubai.
it.
You know, so,
No.
yes. Anyway, As always, I'm your boy, your uncle, your cousin, and your best friend, and you have been watching the HBCU Man Cave, where men can relate, relax, and release. Listen, stay safe, stay blessed, and stay focused. We'll see you next time.